Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. In this class we are going to discuss more important multiple choice questions based on child development pedagogy or let us say it as educational psychology, and this class will be very much useful for all TETs, specifically Karnataka TET and TGT, Hstr and GPSTR as well. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe right now, and also if you are liking my work, please do like my videos and share among your friends and other teacher recruitment examination aspirants. And I also have a Telegram channel. You will find the link of that channel in the description below this video. So please do join that channel also to stay updated and stay connected with me. Okay, so let us start the class with many more important multiple choice questions which are the most expected questions this time in Karnataka TET. Okay. So the first question of this class is question number 21. Actually I have made two more classes before this class. So this class is the continuation of those classes. So if you have not watched those two classes, please do watch those two classes also. You will get the link of the playlist of Karnataka TET in the description below this video. Okay, so let us start the class. Question number 21. Encoding, retention and recall are the three aspects in this process. So what are the options given? Memory, transfer, learning, forgetting. So the question is, they have given three terms which are encoding, retention and recall. Now they are asking you that which among the four options has all these three aspects. So the correct answer will be memory, because memory is the process wherein this encoding, retention and recall, all three aspects are there. Now to understand what are these three terms, let us start from encoding. See, what is encoding means, in this process our brain takes in new information and then our brain turns that new information into a different type of form where it can store the information. That is encoding. Okay, that is what computers also do, right? We say decoding, encoding. In computers also we use this word very commonly. Next aspect of memory is retention. So in this process our brain holds on the encoded information for some time. That is retention. Okay, retention means staying back. Okay. Next is recall. This though we all know it very nicely. It's a very common word we use on our daily basis. So recall is when our brain retrieves and brings back the stored information whenever we need that information to be remembered. Okay. So recall is our brain is retrieving and bringing back the stored information whenever we need it. Okay. So these three aspects are all part of memory. Okay. Next, question number 22. The book written by Ebbinghaus was. So, what is the book name which was written by this psychologist? On Memory, Anthropometric Analysis, Experimental Psychology, Genetic Genius. Actually, the book which he wrote, Ebbinghaus, was On Memory. So, he was actually a German psychologist. His full name was Hermann Ebbinghaus, and he was very much famous for his pioneering work on particularly memory. Actually, he conducted groundbreaking research on learning and memory, and then he published one book on this. The book title he gave was On Memory, a contribution to experimental psychology. Okay, remember the name of the book. On Memory, a contribution to experimental psychology. Okay. Next, question number 23. Past learning hindering the recall of present learning. Such hindrance is called as, see, try to understand the question. Past learning hindering the recall of present learning. Such hindrance is. So what is actually hindrance? Hindrance means something is stopping. Okay, something is getting trapped or something is preventing. Okay, hindering means something is preventing, you can say. Okay, now the question is that situation where your past learning is hindering the recall of present learning. Such type of hindrance is called as, 4 options they have given: proactive inhibition, retroactive inhibition, forgetting, fugue. So the correct answer is proactive inhibition. So in this proactive inhibition, what actually happens is our old learning makes it tough for us to remember new things. Okay, whatever we have learnt earlier, that knowledge or that learning is making us tough to remember new things when I am trying to learn those new things. That type of hindrance or that type of prevention of learning is known as a proactive inhibition. Okay, so what is actually happening in proactive inhibition means our old learning is making it tough for us to remember new things when we are trying to learn them. That is proactive inhibition. Then talking about retroactive inhibition, this actually happens when newly learned information interferes with the recall of older information. So if I am trying to learn something new now, that is interfering with the older information. That is retroactive inhibition. Okay, proactive inhibition and retroactive inhibition are, you can say, 2 type of sort of hindrances which are not allowing us to learn new information properly. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 24. Activities interrupted in the middle of completion are better remembered than activities completed. See, very interesting and very different statement, right? Read it once again. Activities interrupted in the middle of completion are better remembered than activities completed. Who stated this is the question. Skinner, Bandura, Chomsky or Zigarnik. So this statement was actually given by Zigarnik, and talking about other psychologists, the Skinner, he is familiar for his study on behaviorism, and Bandura, he is famous for his work on social learning theory, and Chomsky, he is famous for generative grammar studies, and Zigarnik, I mean to say Bluma Zigarnik, he is known for the most famous Zigarnik effect. So what does this Zigarnik effect suggest means that people are usually remembering the uncompleted or interrupted task rather than the completed ones. Okay, so if you are given some project and if you are incompleting it, then you will remember that incompleted project more when you compare to another project which you have completed it. Okay, this is Zigarnik effect, and this is a very, very important point, and I am expecting one question from this part only. Okay. Next, question number 25. Bruners instructional scaffolding is similar to Vygotsky's. So they are comparing instructional scaffolding of Bruner to Vygotsky's what? They are given 4 options. Self-directed speech, private speech, social scaffolding, inner speech. So it's a very common question wherein anyone can give correct answer. The correct answer will be social scaffolding. See, scaffolding, instructional scaffolding, social scaffolding, and they are comparing the type of scaffolding of Bruner and Vygotsky. Okay. So what is the comparison actually? Why we are telling that it is similar? So talking about Bruner's instructional scaffolding, This is when a teacher is helping you to learn by giving support that you actually need. It's actually like a training wheels on a bike. See, when a child is trying to learn cycling, so nowadays in that small cycles they are giving those two supporting wheels, right? So they are helping you until you can ride that cycle or bicycle by your own. Once the child learns the cycling very nicely, then you can remove that supporting or training wheels. Then just that bicycle can be run by the child on two wheels only. Okay, so that type of help or instruction is known as a Bruners instructional scaffolding. This is his idea. I mean to say the Bruners idea of instructional scaffolding. But then what is about Vygotsky's idea of scaffolding? He is talking about social scaffolding. So this is about learning with the help. You can compare that there is some friend who is holding your hand while you are learning something new. Okay, so Vygotsky said that learning is better when someone more experienced is guiding you. So Bruner is telling that you can learn by own with the support of some sort of wheel or something else which you need for that particular situation. Vygotsky told that someone more experienced person can guide you and help you better in learning things. Okay, so that's why scaffolding is actually supporting only, right? That's why we can say that both are similar supports, okay, told by Bruner and Vygotsky. Okay, clear, right? Next, question number 26. Gestaltism is also called as, four options are given: social learning, cognitivism, programmed learning, naturalism. So Gestaltism is actually, you can call it as a cognitivism also, because cognitivism, it is actually one big idea about thinking and understanding. Gestaltism is also like cognitivism only, but it is, you can say, the older sister or older brother of cognitivism, because it came before and helped to give the shape to it. Actually, Gestaltism and cognitivism both are caring about how our minds are working and how we see things. Okay, I mean to say how our brain is processing information and how it is helping us learn new things. Okay, the both Gestaltism and cognitivism both have the same idea. But then what is social learning? It is about learning from other people, to see someone and do something and learn to do it the same way the other people are doing. Then what about programmed learning? It is the way we are learning things step by step by following one plan or following one program. It's like learning one piece at a time until we know that whole thing. Then again learning next piece. Okay, that is programmed learning. The remaining is what is naturalism. It is like we are learning from nature and our real experiences. We are understanding things by observing how they naturally happen, and then we are learning from those understanding and experiences. Okay, clear, right? Now in this question we have learnt about Gestaltism, social learning, cognitivism, programmed learning and naturalism. See how many questions can be asked just from this part. Any one question can be framed and asked, and if you are perfect with what I am discussing for this question particularly, then you will be able to answer any question asked from this part. Okay, so I really hope that you are attentively attending these child pedagogy classes, because each and every question which I am discussing in these classes is very very important and the most expected question. Okay, next, question number 27. The intelligent quotient of educable mentally retarded persons. So we have to say the IQ of educable mentally retarded persons. It is a 50 to 70. Okay. Actually, these educable mentally retarded persons are those individuals which are having mild intellectual abilities. Their IQ is 50 to 70 because these individuals can benefit from special education. So this educable mentally retarded children, or EMR, educable mentally retarded, EMR is this is the abbreviation for it, and these individuals may constitute about 10% of general population. Now their IQ may range between 50 to 70, which is like roughly half to 3/4 of the level of intelligence of normal children. So there is a lot of scope of these children to be getting benefited from special education. Okay, so this is also an important question. I am expecting this question this time. Next question, number 28. Suresh has difficulty in reading and writing numbers and solving problems. His disability is, so the 4 options they are giving are dyslexia, dysgraphia, dysphasia, dyscalculia. So Suresh is the person who is having difficulty in reading and writing numbers and solving problems. So what is the disability he is having? It is called as dyscalculia. Talking about all 4 options, dyslexia is a condition or a disability wherein the person is having trouble with reading, spelling and writing. That is called dyslexia. Then dysgraphia, it is the difficulty a person will have with handwriting and writing skills. Then we have dysphasia or aphasia. Here that person is having trouble in understanding or using language. Then dyscalculia is the disability of a person wherein he or she will have to struggle with numbers and maths concepts. Okay, clear, right? So this was also a very important question. Any of the 4 disabilities can be framed in a question and it can be asked. So we can expect a question this time. Okay. Next, question number 29. Oral, sign and total communication methods are used in teaching the following children: visually impaired, hearing impaired, locomotor disabled, learning disabled. So any of the 1 children are to be taught by these communication methods: oral, sign and total communication. So the answer is hearing impaired. Actually, visually impaired means people who cannot see properly, right? So methods like braille and listening are used to teach this type of children. Then hearing impaired means oral, sign and total communication methods, they are enough to help them understand. Then for locomotor disabled persons, people with the mobility issues, they might receive some physical therapy maybe. Okay, and then learning disabled, for this type of children many different types of teaching methods are there which help these children with learning challenges. Okay. Next question, number 30. Education for peace was proposed by. So this is a very tough question according to me because the correct answer is APSF 2011. So this APSF is actually Asia Pacific Peace and Development Service for Children and Youth. And the concept of education for peace was proposed by APSCF in 2011. Okay. Talking about NCERT, we all know that it's National Council of Educational Research and Training. So this is also an autonomous organization which was set up in 1961 by Government of India, and this institute actually assists and advises the central and state governments on some policies and programs for improvement in school education. Basically this NCERT is related to school education, you can say. Then talking about NPE 1986, it is National Policy on Education. It actually stressed on equal access, occasional education, flexible curriculum, teacher training and higher education. Then we have this NCF, National Curriculum Framework. It's a guideline for teachers to make school lessons. and it helps a teacher in creating interest and meaningful learning by focusing on understanding, thinking and skills. So different versions have come out to match changing types from NCF. Okay, so talking about this particular education for peace, it was proposed by APSCF in 2011 it seems. That's why I told you that it's a tough question, because it's tough for us to remember things like this, right? Anyway, so this is also important question because it is involving NCF also and NPE also. Okay friends, so these were the next 10 questions which were the most expected and most important questions to be expected this time. See, we cannot say that these were only 10 questions, right? Because we have discussed so many points in each question that one can frame 30 questions from these 10 questions. Minimum, I'm telling. Okay. Anyway, I really hope that this series of child development pedagogy which I have made this time, all 3 classes, will be very much helpful and useful, and all are the most expected questions this time. Okay friends, I really hope that you all are preparing for your exam like rigorously and very actively. I hope that you all succeed this time. Thank you. All the best. Bye.